Boys and girls, by this time you can tell I'm still in the same shirt, and wow, is it smelly. This week, we've been talking about weather. We've been focusing on this teak. The teak says that we're going to measure and record changes in the weather and make predictions using weather maps, weather symbols, and a map key. Making a prediction means that we're not just going to guess. Anyone can guess. Any kindergartner could guess. My dog can guess which hand I have some cheese in. We're going to predict. Predict means that we're going to use tools. We're not just going to run out there and just guess anything. We're going to try to get it as close as possible using the best tools that we have. So that's what we're going to try to do today. Now we've been talking about, let's do this. Teachers, you're going to have to stop the film here in just a moment. Let me focus in on this question. Let me see if I can turn my camera just a little bit. Let me see if I can bring it into better focus. So bear with me. Nope, that's nothing wrong with your TV set. It says the answer is, what is the question? A, melting. B, boiling. C, condensing. D, freezing. Well, let's go ahead and make this interesting. The answer that I'm going to say today, I'm going to say it is answer, I really want to write on my chart. Let's do this. The answer today is B, boiling. There's my answer. So my correct answer for whatever this question is boiling. What in the world could a question be? What question could I use to solve this? You can go ahead and pause it now. All right, I hope you came up with a really good question. Let's see, boiling could very well possibly be that point where molecules in a liquid are moving super, super fast. There's so much heat added to a liquid that those molecules are running around. They're jumping inside the pan. They're jumping inside the water. We've reached a boiling point. For Celsius, our boiling point is 100 degrees. That's the boiling point of water. So, all right, boys and girls, let's look at a couple of little things here. First of all, I'm going to remove my question of the day. Talking about weather, we talked about air pressure. It's measured by a barometer. Generally, if it's measured by a barometer, it's measured by an individual called a meteorologist. A meteorologist is someone that you'd see on TV, here on the radio. You'll see them on the Weather Channel. They have a bunch of them. They'll measure the air pressure, the weight of air pushing down upon us using a tool called a barometer. The items that affect air pressure: water vapor, temperature, altitude. Water vapor, the amount of water that's in the air. Temperature, the amount of heat that is either added to the air or subtracted from the air from the only source of heat that our planet has, the sun. Well, other than its inner core, but we'll go into that some other time. Water vapor, temperature, altitude, how high we are. So obviously, if we're in Denver, Colorado, our barometric pressure is going to be different than being here in Dallas, Texas, where it's flatter. So, today, what we're going to focus on is our first CER. Our first CER, meaning claim, evidence, reasoning. I'm sorry, hold on one second as I get this up. Perfect. So here's my CER. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a claim, a conclusion that answers the original question. So we need evidence to back this up. Evidence is scientific data that supports the claim. The data needs to be appropriate and sufficient. Appropriate means right for it. Sufficient, there has to be enough of it to support the claim. Finally, a reasoning, a justification, meaning an attempt at proving something, a justification that links the claim to the evidence. So justification, you're making sure that this is the right data that answers this question. Okay. So the first things we need to remember is we created our chart. whoops, we created our map symbol, our map key, and remember, on our, where in the world did I put that? I hate it when stuff, oh, there it is, way over here, sorry. Remember, on our teak, using symbols and a map key, well, here's our symbols, here's our key. Warm front, cold front. I'm going to make a claim. Using my map of Texas, I'm going to make the claim that right here in Dallas, right here, the weather's gotten cold and rainy. Interesting. Okay, well, what in the world signifies, looking at your data, because you should have your journals in front of you right now. If you don't have them, teachers, you can pause this and you can have the students find their journals. But we've made a claim. And the claim is that it's gotten cold and rainy in Dallas. Well, according to our terms and our definitions, what in the world could make this cold and rainy? Now, generally, our fronts, if we were to put these up on the map, they're in the direction, the little symbols here that you see, it's in the direction of where they're moving. So if this warm front was receding, generally it's going to recede back. But this is our warm front. If it's a cold front and it's moving, sometimes you'll see them arced like this on the map, where they're moving across the section. You'll very rarely ever see one go this way. For whatever reason in Texas, the cold fronts just don't move like that. But doesn't mean that they can't. But in this case, it's as the cold front, let me put it this way. This cold front's moving. Here's Oklahoma City. If it's here, and Oklahoma City is here, has it passed it yet? Arrows are in the direction of which way it's moving. Hasn't passed it. So currently, the weather in Oklahoma City, dominated by a warm front, should be very nice right now. The cold front means that our air pressure is dropping. I can put a little arrow right here. My air pressure is dropping. Remember, drop in air pressure means that the weather's going to get bad. So I've got this coming. Right now I have high pressure. I'm in a warm front. I have high pressure. My weather's pretty nice. Here comes the cold front. He's going to be coming through. Once he comes through Oklahoma City, now all of a sudden the weather has the weather's changed. Now, and I'm only stating this because I want to make sure that we understand. I don't want any guesses at the moment. The weather has changed in Dallas. And teachers, you can pause this if you'd like. The weather's changed. I need you to come up with a CER. Now, the CER states you need data that supports the claim. Well, my claim is an observation. The weather's changed, and it's gotten colder. What is your evidence to claim that let's say that you know that a cold front's gone through? Okay, then what was your evidence that a cold front has gone through Dallas? Well, and I'm sorry, you can pause here because I'm about to give them the answer. You can do this. The weather's gone through. So we know that if it's cold here, a cold front had to move through. Right, that's number one. Second data, temperature. You know it was cold, the temperature has dropped. So we have temperature, we have the fact that our barometric pressure, our air pressure, has dropped. So there's two pieces of evidence. Might be raining outside, you're making another observation. So your reasoning is that due to the cold front passing through Dallas, and are due to a drop in air pressure and a drop in temperature, your reasoning is that a cold front has moved through Dallas, thus dropping the temperature. I hope I've done this correctly, because sometimes making a claim, evidence, reasoning, making one of these is kind of tough, but we'll get better. And I know I'll get better, because what's going to happen is you as a class you're going to come up with a really good idea, and you're going to share it with me during lunch. You're going to share it with me during recess. You'll share it with me while we're passing in the hallway. Not in a zero zone, but someplace where we can talk freely. Maybe in the morning in the gym. And you're going to come up with some of these, and you're going to get to a point where you're going to be really, really good at doing this. Boys and girls, this is my first one, so I hope that now I'll eventually start giving these to you, and I won't give you the answer. I'll just give it to your teacher. So, thank you very much. Have a good day. I hope you're taking in some weather. I hope you're making some great observations. I hope you're sharing this with mom and dad around the table at dinner time, even in the car headed to soccer practice, baseball, gym, Banana's house or Nana's house. I hope you're sharing this with everyone. So have a good day. Hope to see you soon. And remember, go Science!